Do. Various Vietnam.
Welcome to Various Vietnam, the podcast where we research different perspectives on the Vietnam War. Today, I will be interviewing one person who supports the war and one person who opposes it. The first person who I am interviewing is the United States President, Lyndon B. Johnson, who supports the war. Thank you for joining us today, President Johnson. So, the people are wondering, why do you support the Vietnam War?
Well, the domino theory is quite terrifying to consider as a possible outcome. We have to stop Vietnam from falling into communism. If Vietnam does, other countries will follow. In order to prevent this outcome, we must send aid to our fellow allies. The money and artillery we sent were not enough. We need soldiers.
So, you think that if one country falls to communism, others will shortly follow. You decided to send aid and soldiers to South Vietnam. Speaking of needing soldiers, what do you think of the draft?
The draft is a necessity. Without it, we wouldn't have enough soldiers fighting, and we wouldn't stand a chance. Young men should be proud to fight for a noble cause. They shouldn't try to avoid it by fleeing to Canada or burning their draft cards. The draft is fair and orderly. If these men die, they die with honor.
You seem to view the draft as a very positive and necessary action. You said that these men die with honor. What do you think about the civilians living in Vietnam being killed?
I am aware of the civilian casualties in Vietnam. It is very tragic to lose innocent children, men, and women. I believe that we are doing what needs to be done. We have to bomb certain parts of Vietnam. It is just necessary in winning this war.
That is a very intense stance. Many people would find that a controversial opinion. Many people are also wondering if the government is telling the truth. Do you think the government is being truthful about the war?
Of course we are. We are doing all we can to inform the citizens. We want to make them see just how dangerous communism can be. We are constantly informing the public of the massive Viet Cong death rates. The people need to know about communism and the risks involved. We can win this war, and the people need to know that.
So the government is telling the truth according to the president? I've heard many people disagreeing with that. Speaking of disagreeals, what is one opposing viewpoint that you actually agree with?
I can understand people calling this war a quagmire. They are saying that no side will win. The people fear that this could drag us into a long and decisive war. I can understand why they think that, but I have great faith in this nation that we will win. We can stop the spread of communism. We just have to believe it.
It's always nice to understand a new perspective. It's important to see the other side of any situation. Despite this, what is one opposing viewpoint that you do not agree with?
Oh dear, I disagree with many opposing viewpoints. That's how one forms their own viewpoint. A major one would be the opposing side saying we need to withdraw from Vietnam. If we withdraw, we lose. Simple as that. We would be a weak nation if we sent our soldiers into a foreign war and immediately pulled them out. We do not see any war as being too difficult to win. We are Americans. We will win!
You have a lot of confidence in winning this war. You believe that just because we're American, we can win the war. So if you think we'll win, how long will it take? How much longer until you think the war is over?
I believe we can win this thing in 2 or 3 years. It will be a hard-fought battle, but we will persevere. Our bombings will prove to be flawless. We will bomb Vietnam until there is no communism left. This is a necessary procedure.
So bombing appears to be your opinion on the way to go with this war. How do you think the war will be resolved?
I know that we will bomb North Vietnam until they have to negotiate with us. There will be a necessary settlement or agreement to signify the end of this war. This war isn't just about Vietnam, it's a war against communism.
Many people would beg to differ. Your opinions on this war are very strong, which is excellent for this podcast. The ratings will be off the charts. Do you have any final thoughts or closing statements on the war?
We will win. Every American heart can be rejoiced. We will have a grand celebration once communism is no longer. I know that we can win this war. We won't just be winning it for Southern Vietnam. We will be winning it for the world. Come on, let us reason together. We shall overcome. LBJ for the USA!
Do.
Welcome to the show, John Lennon. We have gotten letter after letter to interview you about the Vietnam War. The listeners will love this. The fans want to know, why do you oppose the war?
I believe in non-violent solutions to problems. We do not need to kill our brothers just to try and stop a belief from spreading. I believe that our nation should be run in a democratic socialist system. It's the perfect middle ground between capitalism and communism. We have peace if we just talk to each other and reach out. We are spending so much money on a war that isn't even ours to fight. That money could be used for poverty prevention programs and campaigns to help less fortunate folks.
Many people would agree that we should be using money to help the citizens here in the United States, rather than a country all the way across the world. Speaking of citizens in the US, what do you think of the people here being drafted for the war?
I do not think this draft is fair in any way. Being in the war should be voluntary. People who are rich can just use their wealth to be excluded from the draft. That is not just. Young men who do not want to participate are being torn away from their families and forced to fight a war that they don't even agree with.
So you believe that people should get a choice whether or not they join the war? I'm sure you've seen the many deaths of Vietnamese citizens. What do you think of the innocent people being caught in the crossfire?
I believe that these deaths are completely unnecessary. The amount of people dying in this needless war is a tragedy. These are innocent civilians being killed by both sides, not just the communist forces. The US soldiers are murdering people on land that isn't even ours.
There are a lot of deaths happening in Vietnam. Do you believe our government is being truthful about the amount of civilians murdered by United States troops?
I do not believe the government has been completely honest about the war. I think they are understating the amount of death happening. The United States people deserve to know the truth about what's happening to their own people who are fighting. Mothers and fathers have lost their sons to this awful war, and they should know the full truth.
You don't think the government is being honest about the war. The president himself said that the government only tells the truth. Speaking of the president, what is one opposing viewpoint that you do agree with?
I do believe that we can both agree that we need to protect the US. We just have different ways of accomplishing that. They want to protect people by stopping the spread of communism. I want to protect them by not sending young men into battle to die.
You agree we need to protect our country, but not with a deadly war. On the other hand, what is one opposing viewpoint that you disagree with?
Well, I disagree with practically everything, but one viewpoint I strongly oppose is forcing people to be soldiers who don't want to be. The government shouldn't be drafting young men to fight in a war all the way across the world. They didn't choose this life for themselves or their family. People should also be more respectful towards the soldiers when they come home, because it wasn't their choice to leave in the first place.
Your opinions on the war are very strong. The viewers will love this. How much longer do you think until the war is over?
I believe that this war will be over when we all take a collective action to stop it. I have a plan called the War is Over campaign. We can end this war if we all come together. We can imagine a better future. My campaign will hopefully end this war by 1969.
Do you have anything else to add?
Well, everything may seem hopeless right now, but we can build our own hope. We all need to choose peace and love. Everyone can give peace a chance. Remember, this war will be over if you want it to.
Do.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Various Vietnam. Today, we interviewed John Lennon and Lyndon B. Johnson about their thoughts on the Vietnam War. They both gave us some really good content. I'm sure our lovely viewers will love this lovely episode. Remember to always listen to other people's opinions, because you might just learn a thing or two. Thank you for listening. In the wise words of Ringo Starr. Peace and love, peace and love. Speaking of disagreeals, what is one opinion? Do you believe our government is being truthful about the amount of civilians murdered by On the other hand, what is one of... Oh my...
I might have uninstalled it. Stop! I can understand people calling this WAG a quagmire. Without it, we wouldn't even have enough soldiers fighting! I know that we will bomb Vietnam.
Young men who just want to participate are being torn. Our soldiers are murdering people on land that isn't even ours. I said ours. I believe that these deaths are completely unnecessary. I believe that these deaths...
Merrick!
I believe that this war will be over when we all take a collection... This war will be over. I believe that this war will be over when we all take a collection active to stop it. Oh my god, what's a collection active?